Thank you. Next one we're going to go for is, doesn't the resurrection break the laws of science? Isn't that impossible de facto?
Yeah, interesting question. I remember I was leading a tour around Israel a number of years ago, and we had about 50 guests, and we were going around looking at the kind of different literal, physical sites, where certain events happened. Obviously, there are some places where we're fairly sure, and some places where, the exact location may not be so sure. But we've been going around Israel on this tour looking at biblical kind of places. And most people there were probably committed followers of Jesus. Some people were there exploring it. I was chatting to one lady at the end, and she said, how have you found the week? And I said, it's been great. Hasn't it been wonderful? Just looking at these places where these events took place and thinking about the fact this is real history and not just kind of make-believe and stories. And she looked at me and she was a bit like, sorry? I was like, why don't I like coming to these real places? She's like, well, you actually thought it happened? And I think she felt it was a bit like a Harry Potter tour that we'd been on for the last 10 days. It was like, here's Diagon Alley and here's, as if it didn't really happen. But I said, no, absolutely. And she says, well, you actually think Jesus rose from the dead? And I was like, well yeah, I do actually. She says, but I'm a medical doctor, I couldn't believe that. And I thought, all due respect to medical doctors, I mean, you don't have to be a medical doctor to know that dead people normally stay dead. We don't believe this because, dead people normally rise from the dead. And in fact, if they did, of course, we wouldn't be talking about this event, would we? If this happened all the time. We're talking about a very unique event, once in all of history, in fact. Now, unique events can happen. We believe in things sometimes not because they happen repeatedly, like the Big Bang, but because the evidence seems to point towards that as the best explanation of the evidence that we see. So statistical likelihood is one thing. But also what I'd say is this. The laws of nature tell us what normally happen in the world. And by definition, a miracle like resurrection is not something that normally happens. So because Jesus, the creator of the laws of nature, was able to depart from what normally happens in this instance, doesn't mean that I therefore say everything else goes out the window too. No, I just say maybe someone has interfered so that what normally happens hasn't happened in this instance. C.S. Lewis puts it this way. He says it's a bit like, imagine if you've got £5, £10, two £5 notes in your drawer back in your room. And you get home later and you only find £5 in your drawer. You don't say, oh, the laws of arithmetic have been broken. You say, well, the law of England has been broken. Someone's nicked my money. Someone's got involved. So the laws of nature tell us what normally happened, given no outside interference. What the Christian faith claims is that the creator of those very laws has stepped into human history. And so that what normally happened at that time didn't happen, and therefore we should check it out. But that doesn't mean we throw science out. Not at all. And if you questioning about that, go back to the talks on Monday, which we looked at on that.